Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Hope you're all well. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you can hear me today. Sorry about yesterday. For some reason the speaker didn't pick up and I didn't realise because I forgot to listen to the video before I uploaded it. I always listen to the video before I upload it. And it's just an unfortunate coincidence that yesterday I didn't, and the microphone didn't pick up my voice. So apologies for that. Anyway, let's get straight in with the price action analysis. This is a weekly chart, and you can see that last week did indeed, I meant to cover this yesterday. So this is Bybit, right, which closed Sunday midnight. So yesterday I was able to see this weekly candle, and it did end up with some serious buying pressure from around the lows. So that looks good. It looks good for continuation of a range. It doesn't really look good for anything other than that. And there's not been any sort of follow through yet. But it's slightly early days in the week. You would like to see that candle get a bit greener relatively soon, I would say. And that's the on the weekly time frame. Momentum still to the upside, but it is creeping down towards that zero line. The daily, I don't know, I just did that with my eyebrows, apologies. Now I've got a little rectangle to show you in a moment. But this is the daily. The daily momentum is pointing up, but it's still to the downside. So that's significant. But for the rest of the price action, I'm going to revert to the 4 hour. And I can see, and I'm sure you probably can too, but I'll point it out anyway. I can see this area, which is indeed a box of support resistance. So it's pretty much there. Maybe it's slightly lower. It's effectively a support resistance box or area between sort of 62.5 and probably 62 or 61.5, somewhere around there. And you can see it was resistance here, then price broke through with a bullish green candle, then it was support, and it's remaining support, but at its outer limits, so at the lowest point of support. There's been a little bounce so far, but not the bounce that is certainly going to take it back into what would then start to look like an uptrend. I mean, I'm not super confident about this statement I'm about to make, but you can see the difference in this section of price action to all this. So it isn't quite a change in trend yet. I mean, it is on a 4 hour, but it's not on the daily. And the 4 hour momentum is indeed to the upside, but it's turning down. So Bitcoin does have to pull its socks up, I would suggest, in the next day or two. And like I said in yesterday's video, but you wouldn't have heard any of it, is 64.5 is the next target. The first target was to get back above 61.5, which Bitcoin did. It's then pulled back. So I would expect the next move of significance, if this is going to turn into an uptrend, to be an upside move. And I would like it to get back above 64.5. At that point, I think it would be very clear that it's a change of trend from one of down to one of up. And then you could likely look for some more upside at that point. Until then, it's sort of hanging in a balance. That's the way I would suggest it to you. And you can see on the daily, there's no such change in trend yet. Because all this is, to me, in my eyes, in my simple eye, with my simple brain, is one big move down and then a bounce. And I wouldn't be surprised to find that the 50% point on here is the one I just called out for the significant area. So let's have a look. Yep, 64.5. So 64.5 is the midpoint of this whole move down. It was the area that I showed you on the 4-hour chart, which I think if Bitcoin closes above, then it almost certainly will have some more upside. Up until then, it's just in a bit of a tricky area. And it is effectively going sideways to all intents and purposes. Now, I'll just slip back down to the 4-hour. I could go into the low time frames, but I don't think they'll be particularly helpful at the moment. So I'll just have a quick look. Let's just have a quick look to see what the 15-minute looks like. Yeah, so yes, it's very much the same, really. It's just more detailed than the 4-hour, but the price action analysis is the same. You can see momentum's to the downside, as is the hourly. So it's only the 4-hour that's hanging on to upside momentum at the moment, out of all the time frames that I've got saved on here, apart from, indeed, the weekly. So can they team up? Can the 4-hour do its business, get back above 64.5, that will drag the daily momentum to the upside probably, and then it's back on. It is back on. The counter, of course, you should look at both sides of the coin, and I've got time to do that. Really, daily closure back below the bottom of this box, which, what did I say it was, 61.5 or something? Somewhere between 62 and 61.5. Daily closure back below there, which is close to, let's face it. Then probably more downside. I'd say at least down to, well, I'll say at least, probably down to 60. And if it hangs around there for long enough, you've got to be thinking there's going to be a weekly closure below 60, and then that would, for me, signify a more significant move to the downside. And the obvious target, you can probably see, I can see it here, but it's probably easiest to see on a weekly. So you can see this wick up here, and then this point of indecision. Well, they're pretty much around 50,000. So I feel like that would be I feel like there would be some support for Bitcoin should this all break down. And as I say, I need a weekly closure below 60 before I'd even sort of contemplate this. But I think it would likely come in low 50s towards 50,000. And then if it all goes really bad, there's a very clear area of support at 45, 44, 44.5, 45. So, yeah, so there we are. Anyway, that's 8.5 minutes, hopefully, of my voice. But I'm going to double check this video. So if it uploads, you know it's got sound. Thanks again for joining me. Please like and subscribe. And if you've enjoyed it, and come back tomorrow because I'll be doing Wednesday's midweek price action analysis. Take care. See you soon.